Well, good morning and happy Monday, March 18th. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. That means it's time to kick off the Real Monica Adams show. We are in the Invita Health and Wellness Studios, and look at that. Isn't that a gorgeous new introduction to our set? Michelle, thank you for putting that up, and thank you to Dr. Sarah Franco from Invita Health and Wellness for that beautiful surprise. She said it was a mixture of a Christmas present mixed in with my birthday present. By the way, tomorrow we're going to do a fun birthday show. We have two on tap for you. We have a special celebrity guest that we had on last year, actually one of our most viewed shows. And that person's going to make a return to our show tomorrow for a special lunchtime show, performing for us and catching us up on what that person's been up to. You notice I'm not saying man or woman. I'm not giving you any clues. We're going to do that for you tomorrow. And we are also going to have former St. Louis Blue Kelly Chase joining us live on the show. We'll sit down. We'll enjoy 30 years of he and I having a wonderful friendship. When we first met, when I was working at Festus, Missouri, covering the St. Louis Blues for 12 years, and then the journey and the fight that he's on right now after being diagnosed with leukemia. So we'll be catching up with Kelly Chase during tomorrow morning's show. Looking forward to that. Today, of course, is Medical Monday. We'll be doing the Ask the Doctor segment with Dr. Sean Neary, our newest sponsor with Mid-America Spine and Rehab. And we're going to talk about some of the conditions they see on a daily basis. We actually have a little show and tell. So he's brought in a spine. We're going to look at the vertebrae, and we'll look at injuries that maybe you've sustained or things that could escalate if you leave them alone. That's one of the things I wanted him to talk about were these warning signs that we get, right? We have these little twinges, we have these ows, and we just pass them by. And then what happens? They get worse. And what happens when they get worse as far as long-term effects. If you have any questions, by the way, for our doctor, always remember to shoot them in the comments. I'll be looking at that throughout the show. Good morning to all of you. Hope you had a great St. Patrick's Day weekend. It was really pretty yesterday. A little chilly, but not bad at all. Clear skies. Grabbed a jacket, and I hope you had a chance to wear your green. Let me know in the comments where you celebrated and where you wore your green. I saw major, actually record-breaking crowds at Frankie Martin's in Cottleville. They had a big one. Of course, Dogtown, where most people go to celebrate the true Irish neighborhood. I didn't do anything yesterday. Thank you, Zach Kimball. He's just always so on the ball. That's the St. Patrick's Day parade yesterday. I usually go to that, but yesterday, nope, didn't have it. That, of course, was the downtown one. Which one did you go to, or did you do like me and just sit and relax and finally take some time to yourself? A lot of green worn. If not, you were probably pinched. Are you actually Irish? I am. I can't believe I didn't go anywhere yesterday. It was my first St. Patrick's Day in my memory that I can say that I didn't go and celebrate. There were a few times Jim kept saying, do you want us to go get a green beer? And I'm like, I don't like beer. And he goes, how about corned beef and cabbage? I was like, I don't like corned beef and cabbage. He's like, are you really Irish? And I said, yeah, I'm just not a fan of the food. I don't know. Cabbage is okay with me. Corned beef, not so much. But what about you? What did you do for St. Patrick's Day? I'll look in the comments. We also want to do the news you can use, catch up on sports news, some traffic news. But first, let's do What the Weather. Our aspiring meteorologist, Beckett Moore, with us. Good morning, Beckett.
Good morning, Monica. Happy birthday Eve.
Thank you very much. Did you do anything, by the way, for St. Patty's?
No, we didn't. I mean, I put on green and things like that. I ate Lucky Charms in the morning once a year, but no, I didn't really go anywhere.
I love it. I put on Lucky Charms, ate some Lucky Charms, did a little bit that I could do for St. Patty's. Well, I hope you had a great weekend. Of course, we're coming off of a really crazy weather week last week, and you and I were talking about some of the damage that we saw. So let's kind of get into that before we get into what we expect as we officially kick off spring tomorrow evening.
Yeah, so we had 4 tornadoes that the National Weather Service in St. Louis went out and reported on. So we had first of all, a tornado into Macoupin County near Carlinville. And then we had 3 tornadoes, although they were low end, thankfully, and through rural areas that went through Jersey County, including one that went just to the south of Jerseyville, and then one that near Brighton, Illinois here as well. So you can see all these tracks, but they were mainly in rural areas, no injuries, at least what I know of, or deaths or anything like that. And I think we had damage to a barn, but I think that was it. So that is good news. We did, though, have some damage over in Mount Vernon, which technically is in the NWS Paducah area. So the National Weather Service in St. Louis did not observe that. But this is some of the damage photos that we saw. near St. Louis, as Mount Vernon is just to the east of downtown. And you can see right here we had some pretty severe damage on this building right here in Mount Vernon. You can see a couple photos right here from Nick Skaggs there. And you can see we did have some pretty severe damage there. Now our bus stop forecast for today, 28 degrees and sunny in the morning. We did have that frost around, that freeze around this morning. So hopefully you guys brought in your plants yesterday. Me and my dad actually put tarps over some of our flowers that need to stay safe and away from that frost. Now today, 43 degrees in the afternoon and sunny. This is going to be our chilliest day of the week, and we're likely going to have another freeze tonight. As you can see, low of 28 tonight. 43 degrees again is our high. So again, watch out for those frosty conditions. If you haven't already, bring those outdoor plants that you can inside. And if you can, you cover those outdoor plants too to keep that frost off of them. Now tomorrow, your birthday, Monica, around 70 degrees, getting up to 70 degrees. If you remember last week, I was forecast 62 degrees. That has really gone up. So Mother Nature has heard the news. And then as we are going into spring there on Tuesday, it is going to be sunny, very nice. But then as we go into Wednesday, driving back down to 55, into Thursday, 53, cloudy conditions around there on Thursday, maybe a couple sprinkles there as well. We're kind of going to be in this gradient between cold and warmer air for those 2 days. That's why it's going to be a little bit chilly. Low of 37 on Tuesday, low of 32 on Wednesday. So another frost possible Wednesday night. Thursday, low of 39. And then as we go into Friday, we warm up again just a bit, have a couple of showers around. That's when we're going to have to watch our next rain chance Thursday into Friday, but mainly into Friday. And then Saturday, 58 degrees for your high, mostly cloudy. Going into Sunday, getting back up near 70, but we are going to have another rain chance.
All right, Beckett, I actually remember a couple of weeks ago, I was looking at another meteorologist forecast, and they had 48 to 50 for a high on Tuesday. So that has really, really come up. I'm telling you, you've done your magic, Beckett. Thank you for that.
Yeah, you bet.
All right, well, have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for delivering a wonderful forecast for tomorrow.
You too.
All right, it is 7:07. That's our aspiring meteorologist, Beckett Moore. Isn't he wonderful? Absolutely, just adore him. And you can follow him on both X and on YouTube, Moore Weather Official. He does a wonderful job, and especially when he gets into forecasting. I mean, he was on for hours last week as we got into the really horrible weather that was heading into our area. I'm going to give you the news you can use. And if you're new to my show, by the way, that's what I think is important. What can you do with these stories? I don't want them to damage the beginning part of your day, but get you talking, maybe to friends and family. We have been following for a while now actually since March 8th, you know, the Mizzou student, 22-year-old Riley Strain that you've heard in the news. The latest information, we make sure that we always update you on stories as well that are in our local, our regional, and in our national news. The latest news out of Nashville, police found his bank card right near the Cumberland River. You've seen a lot of the surveillance video. They're also talking to homeless people in the area that say they remember seeing him. And there were a lot of the videos seen right near the banks of the Cumberland River that he was walking towards. Now, again, the bank card found. Nashville police are treating this as a missing persons case, and they do not suspect foul play. The family was seen on TV and here locally and in Columbia, obviously thanking everyone for their thoughts and prayers, and for the media for continuing to show everything they possibly can to try to bring him home. So again, a bank card found. That is the latest news out of Nashville. Grant's Farm opening up a little early, actually, one of the earlier openings for them, but we've got this gorgeous weather we've been experiencing. So they're opening up for the 70th season. Can you believe that? I also saw something out of Australia and New Zealand talking about how there's always been equine therapy and other animal therapy for mental health and depression. Australia and New Zealand talking about cows, but this isn't something new. In fact, when I was at KSTK, I did a story about cow hugging therapy at a place called the Gentle Barn in Dittmer, Missouri. Have you ever been there? If not, look it up. Go out there. They do an amazing job. They don't just have cows out there. They've got other animals as well. But yeah, you can set it up to where you just sit there and hug the cows, and it brings you to a sense of calmness you've never known before, where you're actually in sync with their breathing. It pulls your breathing down. great for mental health and depression. So think about that for anybody that may be suffering from that in your family. This is interesting. An 8-year-old child in Kentucky died after eating strawberries at a school fundraiser. Madisonville police there say the child was taken to the hospital with an allergic reaction, first having a rash, and then they were able to bring the kid home for a couple of hours, ended up seeing that there was a problem again. That child actually died in its sleep. Others, though, were taken to the same hospital with allergic reactions to those strawberries. So they're saying that anybody that had those from that school fundraiser should immediately throw them away. But that will be an interesting one to look into to see if there was something on the strawberries or was there something sprayed on them. But what caused that allergic reaction? Very crazy. Some road work in our area. 6440 drivers, good news. They opened up the 14th Street exit after that was closed for a few weeks. The chain of rocks work that happened over the weekend, that's wrapped up. There will be some construction, though, for the next 3 nights. Westbound 70 near Z. The right lane closure happens tonight at 8 o'clock. But instead of opening like a lot of road work does at 5 a.m., it actually won't open until 9 a.m. And they'll do that again on Tuesday and Wednesday. And then listen to this one. Eastbound, not westbound, but an eastbound full closure of the Poplar Street Bridge and the King Bridge. And that's going to happen this weekend through the end of May, folks. So they're looking at the weekends. Is it going to be every weekend? Not sure yet. IDOT wasn't very clear with that, but for sure this weekend, you're not going to be able to go over into Illinois. You'll have to actually get off at the southbound Route 3 exit. So the Poplar Street Bridge to continuing on, you wouldn't be able to do that this weekend. Just a heads up to that. March Madness brackets. They're calling this one of the least productive weeks because everybody's filling out their brackets. I think it's funny, though. If you have a busted bracket, there's actually restaurants that are telling you to just take a picture, bring it in. I know TGI Friday, I think, is giving away like 6 boneless wings when you bring in your busted bracket. So they're rewarding you for just filling it out. I mean, you literally could do whatever you want and then go in and eat some chicken wings. Miles Michaelis is actually getting the nod for opening pitcher for the Cards opening game, not the home opener, but the opening game in LA. We'll talk with Dr. Sean Neary in just a few minutes about the hamstring injury to Sonny Gray, and that's not something you want to rush, so that's why they're not having him as the opening pitcher, but we hope to have him back very soon. The Blues won last night against Anaheim 4-2. Cardinals beat the Astros 10-6. And before we go to our commercial break, my thoughts and prayers continuing to go out to a former classmate of mine, Dan Rolfus, who has been the head basketball coach for the girls Incarnate Word Academy basketball team since 2000, actually. So for the last 24 years, he has had an incredible run with them. And on Friday night, after their win, he had a medical emergency in Columbia, Missouri. It was up in the air whether the girls were going to play that game, the state game, Saturday night. They did play, and they won for their coach. I woke up Sunday morning and I was feverishly looking through to make sure that they won because I know how emotional that game had to have been for them. The Red Knights defeating Springfield Kickapoo 53-43. They win the Class 6 state championship. And get this, it's the 7th consecutive state championship for Incarnate Word, and they ran their state record winning streak to 131 games. Incredible work by those girls. I know it was emotional. And again, a medical emergency, so I'll be following that. If we get any new information, I'll pass that along to you tomorrow. But best of luck to my former classmate from Aquinas Mercy, Dan Rolfus, and his wife, Lisa, who I used to play soccer against, and their entire family. All right, it's 7:13. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, Dr. Sean Neary from Mid-America Spine and Rehab will be in the blue chair. Envita Health and Wellness, where you can feel your best both inside and out. Envita isn't your typical med spa. They're a multi-specialty medical spa and wellness center serving St. Louis and its surrounding areas. They have ketamine for mental health and pain, IV therapy, medical weight loss, and aesthetics treatments. As board-certified anesthesia providers, Envita can ensure that their advanced treatments are provided safely with minimal to no pain. So let Envita take care of you. Call 314-394-0950 to book an appointment or online, envitahealthandwellness.com. 7:14 and welcome back. We have our Medical Monday Ask the Doctor segment with Dr. Sean Neary. We'll get to some of your comments in just a bit, but let's get right over to him. I understand you have a patient coming in at 8 o'clock. We got to get you
I have
to
an
him.
early patient this morning, but hey.
What were you thinking, patient?
I know.
I'm just kidding.
Don't they know that I'm supposed to be here with you?
Exactly. He's a celebrity now.
Right.
He needs green M&Ms in the green room. I'm just kidding. Well, let's get to this.
Yeah.
You and I are going to talk about injuries that you see commonly.
Yes.
But I also wanted to go into, out of that, I want to go into what happens when we might leave some of those things alone and how they
Sure.
escalate. Before we get to any of that, though, the injury to Sonny Gray, he's not
Yes.
going to be the opener for the Cards opener in L.A., and I think a lot of people are like, oh, come on, it's just a hamstring injury. Can you go a little bit deeper into that?
It is just a hamstring injury, but if you ignore this issue, we need to make sure that he gets 100% before he gets back out there.
Yeah.
He can potentially injure it again. So if you don't go back to 100%, the re-injury, very possible.
Yeah.
So I like the Cardinals just playing it safe.
Right.
Hey, we're going to take a couple weeks, get that injury completely healed up, and then get him out there.
Well, and he's had this injury before.
Right.
And that's the thing. And he understands that. Miles Michaelis has been fantastic in Jupiter. And we don't want to rush somebody back from an injury.
Exactly. And if you do rush back, hey, that possibility of re-injury
Yep.
is greator.
Well, yeah. I mean, we could tear it and be out for the entire season.
Exactly. So
don't rush them, folks.
play it safe. Play it safe, guys.
Okay, so you have, for people who have not met you, because I know that you're one of our newest sponsors, give them a little background again on you joining Mid-America Spine and Rehab, but where you came from.
Joined Mid-America Spine and Rehab back in June of 2023. There it is. But I'm from St. Louis, grew up here, went to Ohio for a job for about 8 years. It was supposed to be about 3, but turns out to be 8.
Sure.
Think time just keeps going. But moved back here, and when I moved back, Dr. Bob said, "Get back in here. Let's team up."
Right.
So we're trying to expand our practice and grow chiropractic.
I love that.
basically.
Well, and that's one of
Yeah.
the things that we'll be talking about over the weeks and the months to come is what people believe chiropractic care is, what they've gone to a chiropractor for.
Right.
I actually went in to surprise both Dr. Bob and Dr. Sean on Thursday.
Yep.
You don't have patients on Thursdays, is that right?
We had an administrative day,
Okay.
is what we were going to call it.
But what was the woman's name that I met?
Cheryl.
Cheryl, she was so sweet.
Yes.
So I actually went around, took some pictures and video that I'll be showing in the coming weeks. Beautiful place.
Thank you.
And I love all the advanced things that they have there for you. So what do you see on a daily basis that we could, if you look at a percentage of people that are coming into you, common issues?
The majority of what we see is neck and back pain. Just being a chiropractor, it's our forte, basically. A lot of it is arthritis. People just have this nagging pain that's been there for years and years. It goes away for a little bit. Oh, but then it came back. We take an x-ray, and then we get to show them, here's what's going on. And we were talking about this last week. That didn't happen last week.
Right.
That didn't happen last month. This is a degenerative process that's taken time to get there. And after a while, you can't ignore it anymore.
Right. What are the warning signs that are happening that we are dismissing?
Oh, can't sleep. I can't lay on this side because my arm goes numb. I can't lay on this side because my hip is painful. That does, again, it goes away. Let's talk about, for a couple weeks, but then it comes back and I can't sleep on that side anymore. Now, when I'm sitting, my arm's going numb. I'm getting headaches all the time. These are just things you can't ignore.
So what's happening? That's a really good one because there's so many people that say, oh, well, I get a headache. I just figure it's stress and it'll go away. What's causing these headaches?
Well, I brought my assistant.
Oh, I love it. Show and tell.
I can show you. All right. So up here in the neck, cervical spine, we have 7 bones. In between them, we have this little disc. It's our shock absorber. The best description is think of it like a jelly donut. So the outside is nice and firm, but the inside has this little jelly. Now
It's gelatinous.
it's
My favorite
gelatinous,
word.
Yes. We want this curve here. Over time, the more we were talking about this last week, we sit, we look
Right.
at our phones. this starts to straighten out.
And that's bad.
And that's bad. That puts more pressure on these shock absorbers, and we dehydrate. And as those get skinnier and skinnier, where this little nerve pops out, there's a hole. That disc is supposed to give us some height so that nerve can come out. As it gets smaller and smaller, we've all heard the term pinched nerve.
Right.
As this gets smaller, that nerve gets pinched.
Okay.
Now these up here in the cervical spine go, there we go, just like that, degenerative disc, a little skinnier, 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 more pressure on this nerve. Up here in the cervical spine, these go down the arm. That's where that
Tingling
numbness happens. It's coming from the neck.
Okay.
What we need to do is get those spaces back opened up.
And how do you do that?
So that's our adjustment.
Okay.
The spine can move in 3 different ways. Correctly, not enough, or too much. So the spots that we look for as chiropractors are the ones not moving enough.
Okay.
And when we throw that adjustment into the spine, that's opening up, that's getting mobility back into these.
Okay.
And restore that nerve so you don't have that numbness and tingling anymore.
And literally last night, Sean, Dr. Neary, if I can call you Sean, as we become friends.
Yeah, right.
My husband just kept doing this. I asked him, I said, I'm going to get a massage today for the first time in forever, which I desperately need. But my neck was bothering me yesterday. And I said, both you and I need to get in to Dr. Neary. When are you going to go? And he goes, well, obviously not today. And I said, I know, but you need to call tomorrow because it's getting worse and worse to the point that I was like, can you just give me a little bit of massage? And he goes, yeah, my hands are hurting. And it's just, it's bothering him constantly. He's just constantly doing this. So as you said, it didn't just happen overnight. That's been something he's ignored for a while.
Right.
So that inflammation's taking place as well, right?
Exactly. And the inflammation is the biggest problem. So the inflammation is the way the body says something's wrong.
Right.
We need to address this problem. Inflammation then causes more pain, and then your body's just continue to be inflamed. But we can take our ibuprofen, you can do these anti-inflammatories, but what that's doing is just masking the issue.
It's masking the issue, and people need to understand what it does also to your stomach and your intestine lining, which is not good. You also brought in some slides for us. We want to go through some of these?
Sure. So the one on the left, that is our normal spine.
That curve you talked about.
That's what we want. We want that curve. Now, over time, what happens, if you look at the second one, we're straightened out. That's putting that more pressure on the discs. Then, what happens when we have... So, bone is a dynamic thing. It wants to grow. So, when we talk about like osteoporosis, doing weight-bearing exercises, that's great for like our femurs, our arms. We want those. But when we go into the spine, when we have all this pressure on the bone, the body goes, that's unstable. We need to do something about that. So what it does is it throws calcium, basically to give more support. Now, if you look at the one on the far right, kind of towards the bottom, you see that big old hook coming down? That's the body saying, this spot is unstable. We need more bone there.
Okay.
That is what we call arthritis.
Arthritis, people start getting diagnosed with, you mentioned osteoporosis. What's the difference between osteoporosis and osteopenia?
Osteopenia is the precursor to osteoporosis.
Okay, so pretty similar?
Similar. We're on our way to osteoporosis.
Can it be stopped?
It can be stopped.
Oh, really?
We can prevent. Now, going backwards is hard, but preventing further growth, yes. Weight-bearing exercises, get out, be mobile. Just go to the gym, lift the weights.
That is, once again, if you're just tuning in, this is Dr. Sean Neary from Mid-America Spine and Rehab. There are a lot of women that get really worried about that. My mother was diagnosed with osteopenia. I don't know if it escalated to osteoporosis. She works out on a daily basis, lifting at 86 years old. Isn't it amazing? I mean, and that's the thing. I think there's a lot of women that are of that age, they didn't grow up with that. We all grew up working out. They didn't grow up lifting weights, right? They were told not to lift weights. So you really have to start them, but it's never too late to, right?
It's never too late.
Yes.
Oh, no, get out there. Go do the things. The gym that I go to, I love going 5 o'clock in the morning. I would say the average age
Yep.
is 70 when I go in there. Get out there.
Yes. And here's the other thing is to be introduced to it if it's something that your grandma or your parents never did, your grandparents, I should say grandma and grandpa never did, is to have a trainer that really knows what they're doing.
Yes.
Walk them through that.
Yes.
But it's never too late. So if they're frustrated, and one of the things that I see so much in that population is this. And they're with walkers, right? And so everything when we used to put them on a treadmill, the very first thing it was so slow. Even if we got them to do that or walking them around the nursing home was all right. We got to get up, right?
Chest out.
Yes.
Chest out, shoulders back.
Yes.
Chin in.
I think there's a lot of people that wonder though that their parents and grandparents can they stop this?
Again,
Depends on how far it's.
This didn't happen yesterday.
Yeah.
It's been a process over years. We can start to open everything up again. It's just being conscious of it.
Right.
And once someone tells you, then you start thinking about it. You catch yourself here.
Right.
Oh, all right. Open up. The more you catch yourself, you can kind of prevent that from progressing.
Well, and again, it's working those back muscles, working the rear deltoid muscles, rhomboids, the trap, everything,
rhomboids.
bringing it back, but also stretching them. Opening that all up also,
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
Those are all
The
important.
rhomboids are the big one that I always talk about too. Pull those shoulders back.
Look at an anatomy chart, but you'll understand what the rhomboids are for it. So let's look at some questions.
Big word Monday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing your little model in. I love
Absolutely.
show and tell. I feel like I'm back in school. Rose just said, Doc, can too much calcium in blood affect the bones? I hear it higher your risk for osteoporosis.
I don't.
never heard that.
I haven't heard that. I'll look into that, and we can address it next week.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Very interesting. Yeah.
Julie says, I know someone that was diagnosed with tendonitis in the arm and now the hand is tingling. Doctor said PT, but it didn't help. On meloxicam?
Meloxicam, sure.
Is that good for them? Anti-inflammatory?
It's okay. When we're dealing with like a rotator cuff issue or a shoulder issue, those are soft tissue things. And if it was a muscle problem, those go away. Just like with the hamstring strain.
Right.
It's going to go away. What we need to worry about is the structural issue that's causing that. Again, shoulders in. It's a malposition. We don't want this here. So the more we get it into this proper position, the muscles will start to calm down. But if it's a structural issue, that's where we have to address it.
I see in all my years of being a trainer, people overdeveloping muscles on the front side of them or on the back side of them. Normally it was men only. I mean, it's like we always called it the beach body, right? Not the true beach body as in the company, but they would work their chest and then they would never work their legs. And you'd be like, what the heck's going on? And then they wouldn't work their back. You'd have big shoulders and chest and then their back was like this.
We call them the glamour muscles.
The what?
Glamour
muscles.
Glamour muscles. Oh, my chest and my biceps are huge, aren't they?
Yeah.
But your back's weak.
Right.
And this is...
We need balance in life.
We can talk about, I think there's 4 or 5 muscles up here. But when we go to our back, talking about 20s in the muscles. We need to work our back more.
You know, the aha moment for a lot of clients, Dr. Neary, is when I say, do you know how many muscles work when you hold a plank? And I said, and by the way, what do you think you're working? My stomach, and I'm like, keep going. I don't know.
My
I feel,
legs.
yeah.
My shoulder.
53 muscles.
Really?
When you are holding a plank.
That's a great stat.
It's fascinating,
Yeah.
but it's also like we need movement, right? This is important. Marilyn just said most people do not know their creactive protein. With my new meal plan, February 2023, it was 9.2 this year, 2.0.
Okay.
Not sure. No, Marilyn, I don't know. And sometimes when these things come into me, by the way, I think some of the...
Meryl, we will address it. I'll look into this stuff.
Linda says a few years back, I turned the wrong way and hurt my back and hip. Had an x-ray that showed 2 bone spurs.
Okay.
Since then, I have nerve tingling in the front of my leg or thigh on that same side. Also, sciatic issues. Is this arthritis?
So when we're talking about bone spurs, I don't know if we can pull that...
The slide back up?
The slide back up. Bone spurs, yes, if you look all the way on the right side, that little hook down there, that is technically what we call a bone spur, an osteophyte.
Okay.
That is arthritis. So, again, that didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen with that turn that she did. that just aggravated the problem.
Okay.
That was already in there, and there we go. That's a good one. So the osteophytes, just that bone spurring out. Again, that didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen with that turn. It didn't happen when you went to the garden and you were digging. Oh, I threw my back out.
Right.
It was going to happen.
And it's also not going to get fixed by coming to you once.
Not once.
Right.
No.
But I think that's where I don't understand that, but that's a lot of pressure on anybody's job, right? If you come in and say, get this fixed now.
Right.
But you've done a ton of damage to it.
Yes.
Right? Let's think about our car. You take the car in and there's so much damage that's been done, they'll say, I need it for a few days, right? Well, why can't you just fix it in an hour? It's not going to be fixed.
Because it didn't happen in an hour.
Correct. I mean, whatever analogy you want us to use, but that's the case. Rose said, Doc, I don't use it, but we inherited an inversion table. My hubby and boys use it in between chiropractic visits. What's your opinion on that?
I'm a fan of them.
Yes.
I like them. If you use it correctly.
Okay, so what do they do wrong if they're not using it correctly?
Too long.
Too long.
Is typically the problem. Or going too deep. So you got to start off nice and slow, go to about 30 to 45 degrees,
Okay.
as opposed to going to the 60 or 90 degrees.
So what happens when they're doing it too long?
You're stressing the joints
Oh.
too much. So when you go too long, the muscles are being pulled, the tendons are being pulled, the ligaments are being pulled just a little bit too much and too long. So starting off nice and slow, 3, 4, 5 minutes, and then working your way up.
And what's happening when we're on that inversion table?
The main part of it is we're opening up these joint spaces. So back to my lovely assistant.
Does that assistant have a name? We need to name him.
Let's call him Larry.
Where did that come from?
My grandpa's name.
Okay.
He was a chiropractor also. So.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. What we're doing is we're opening up those joint spaces.
Okay.
So gravity takes hold, open those spaces up, giving those nerves room to breathe.
And so if
basically.
we continue to be on the inversion table, we continue to do the things that we're supposed to be doing, will we keep these things in place?
We can keep them in place, but again, back to our spine moves in 3 different ways. Too little, too much, or correctly.
Okay.
The spots that we're getting with the inversion table is opening up the spaces that need to move more, but the spots that aren't moving enough,
Yep.
they're not moving like they're supposed to.
Okay.
That's where the adjustment comes in.
Okay. So Marilyn just said, okay, so it's C, reactive protein.
Okay.
Inflammation in your body should be less than 0. Mine went from 9.2 down to 2.0. My joints no longer hurt. Oh, interesting. We'll have to look into that.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Rose said Larry is a little bony.
Just a little.
She said should be less than 8. Okay, yeah,
Okay.
I've never heard about that one. I love our viewers. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah, absolutely.
They and again, if there's anything that we ever are, we bring to the table that we don't know,
Yeah.
we will look into it,
Absolutely.
and then bring it up next week. So understand that's going to happen as well.
Yeah.
Can we do this? What time do you need to leave? Did you need to leave?
We got a few more.
Shortly.
Yeah.
Okay. If we ignore these warning signs,
Yes.
and there are many of them, you have to understand, whatever your injuries are, you've got to think that we're talking to you right now. You dismiss it. What's happening when this dismissal happens?
When we dismiss it, the problem's not going away. It's still in us. It's still in us.
But they think it's gone away because suddenly they don't feel it.
Oh, I don't
But then
feel
it comes
the pain.
back. Worse?
Those are symptoms.
Okay.
We can address symptoms all day long. That's what over-counter medication does. We're addressing the symptoms. We're masking those things. Until we get to the root cause of what's actually the problem,
Right.
those symptoms are going to continue to come back. And back to the pictures with the spine being straightened out. Yeah, we don't feel any problem when we're in phase 1.
Right.
That's totally fine. When we get to phase 2, we start to feel those symptoms.
What would we start to feel from 1, 2, 3 to 4?
Restricted motion is
Okay.
going to be the big one. Numbness and tingling down the hands, which we've talked about many times. Muscle tightness, headaches. So this is our neck. A lot of those nerves start to go up into the head. We get headaches. Like, why do I have headaches now?
And on a regular basis.
On a regular basis.
So when it escalates to the regular basis, we've really done some damage.
We've taken too long
Okay.
to get the problem solved.
When people hear that they have a bulging disc,
Yes.
and we might need to table that one for maybe next week.
Oh,
'cause
we can talk about bulging
we'd have,
disc.
because I think
Yeah.
people hear that and they get really scared by that and think this is a long-term thing. It's going to create a problem for me.
Yes. If we look at a lot of bulging discs don't have any symptoms until you do that one thing. I picked up that pen, or I was digging in the garden. Now I'm having all this numbness and tingling. That bulging disc was there.
Well, how would we know then?
You don't know until the symptoms
Oh,
show
wow.
up. We can get you an MRI, but
But
I don't-
once you're being told you have a bulging disc,
yeah,
and since we didn't have any symptoms, okay, that's it. Do we get to it?
There we go.
You know, I hear a lot of clients say, "Oh, my doctor just told me I had a herniated disc. I have a bulging
Sure.
disc." When it's that point, you're just saying that we wouldn't have known because there's no symptoms to it.
you don't know until there's symptoms that pop up.
And the symptoms for a bulging or a herniated disc would be
Numbness and tingling,
okay.
muscle tightness, restricted motion.
Okay.
So the way that we progress is the very top. We go from normal, degenerated, basically just starting to thin out. Then a bulge happens, and that's back to that jelly donut. A little bit of jelly starts to come out the back. When too much of it comes out, then we have the herniated disc. And that herniated disc can cause something called stenosis, which is pinching of a nerve.
right. Yep, had a lot of clients that have had that.
Yes.
And then it's thinning. I
then
mean, it's
it's-
almost bone on bone
It's
there.
bone on bone. So back to the bone on bone, that's when the body says, hey, this is unstable. We need to give more support.
At that very end there,
Yeah.
what would be happening? Would they
Those
be going
are
into surgery?
osteophytes. It can be a surgical issue. What they'll
Or
do
can
is
that be reversed all the way back up?
that can't be reversed.
Nope.
When we're down there, that's kind of permanent. But we can help open up the spaces a little bit and give some relief.
I think that might be one of the best I've ever seen of breaking it down for all of us to say, this is what we're doing when we dismiss this.
Yeah.
Don't dismiss this.
Don't
It's the
dismiss
biggest
it.
thing that we can get across to you today. Do not dismiss the tingling. Honey, stop dismissing the tingling in your hand.
Jim.
Exactly. Before you have to run, Linda says, I also have osteoporosis. Walking and yoga stretches seem to have helped a lot. I'm a big proponent of yogas.
Love it.
Yogis. When I'm in pain, if I get out and walk, the pain subsides. This is why I walk every day, up to 6 miles a day now.
Wow,
I know
good
she's
job.
doing great, feeling so much better. Yes, all those things.
Yeah.
If you've got issues that you're feeling, do not do what we're doing right now. Just sit, do this, and not move. The body is meant to be in motion.
I see us both trying to.
I do.
Give
But
good
I have
posture.
to thank my mom for when I was a little
Yeah.
girl. She was always saying, Monica, good posture, good posture.
Right.
But I'm glad she did it because I was taller than the boys and I hated it. So I was always trying to I was. And then all of a
Yeah.
sudden she just kept, Monica. So I'm always, I don't sit to the back of a chair because that makes you do this.
Rarely. Yeah.
Right? It should be sit at the edge.
And then fold the arms and you're in this position.
We need you upright. Okay,
Yes.
we're going to let him get to his patient. I would like to show you what happened to me. I'm going to have to get this x-ray from
Yeah.
my sports medicine doctor. My spine, my neck, after the concussion and immediately after, and this is what you all
Mm-hmm.
need, if you've been in accidents or, as an athlete or in a car accident, I was shocked, Dr. Neary. It was straight up and down after
Straight.
that. Oh my gosh. And I was
Yep.
like, is it supposed to be like that? He's like, heck no.
Nope.
We got to get that changed.
We want that curve
So
in there.
understand though, it's been 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And I have not been to a chiropractor. So when
Come
we,
on.
I need to make it the appointment today.
Yeah.
We'll get that set up. I am very intrigued and I love to be transparent with you all. So I'm going to have him go ahead and show everything that he finds.
Yeah.
And we'll go through it and say, this is Monica's spine. Here's what's happened
Absolutely.
since the injury. The only reason why I haven't is because I was scared by some traditional doctors saying, don't go to a chiropractor. They're going to adjust you, that fast manipulation. But I love the fact that last week he said, we don't have to do that. Do you all know that?
We have so many other options besides just that manual, quick adjustment.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I hope that they didn't prolong maybe some injuries that are there.
Yeah.
Cross my fingers.
Right.
We're going to see. We're going to see just how bad me and Jim are.
I do need to do
Yes.
one thing.
Yes.
Shout out to my mom. Happy birthday.
Today?
Today.
What's Mama's name?
Martha.
Martha, happy birthday. We share the same week. Mine's tomorrow. So she's a Pisces, fellow Pisces.
Yes.
All right, Martha, thanks for raising a wonderful human being right here. Thank you. Dr. Sean Neary, Mid-America Spine and Rehab. You want to give them all the information where they can find you?
314-966-8989. StayWellSTL.com.
Perfect. And I know a lot of you have called already to get in. The office hours are right there on your screen. They are closed on Sunday, but you can call them and they can get you taken care of so that you're not walking around in pain. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you so much.
I'll see you again next week. We'll talk more about everything to prevent these long-term issues. Don't go anywhere, though. We've got more of the show to come. We'll be back right after the break. We need women to lift women up.
Let's do that.
Being on Monica's show, it was like one of the best interviews I've ever had.
Monica's very real, and she really cares about people.
She's changing lives.
Changing lives.
I think this is just really what people want to see.
Giving back so much to the community, and I really appreciate it.
Today, Monica was extraordinarily real, not only with me, but with her viewers and her listeners.
Made the interview process like talking to a friend.
How are you doing? Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a few weeks.
Hey. You're close.
Monica. Whoa.
So go out in this world and be anything you want to be. But before you do that, first, be kind. Hi, it's Monica Adams. Thank you so much for following along with The Real Monica Adams Show since we launched back in March. But I wanted to let you know there's so much more that I could do with you, your business, your corporation. Did you know that I'm a motivational speaker all around the world, as well as an MC and an auctioneer? So if you have an event, maybe a nonprofit organization, and you want to book me, just shoot me an email, info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. Personal training, life coaching, and styling as well. info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. Welcome back. Isn't he great? Any topic, so you want him or Dr. Sarah Franco to cover on our Mondays, please let me know. info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. That way I can get it to them in advance. You have all been so wonderful in being really active in our comments over the last year, and especially over the last 6 months since we started our Medical Monday. If you are new to the show, let me break some things down for you. So yes, on Mondays, I love really digging deep into health. Being in the health and fitness field for so long, I wanted to make sure that that was a big part of our show. One of the things that a lot of you have been talking to me about is bringing back our workouts. So when I was at Channel 5, we did Monica's Motivational Moments for 2 years. And then unfortunately it stopped, or I can say fortunately, because it really became a foundation of my show. So I'm talking right now about bringing Workout Wednesdays to play. What do you think about that? Would you like to see that? Workout Wednesdays, and maybe we do it with one sponsor, or maybe we go to different places and showcase aspects of dance, aspects of maybe yoga, Pilates, a high intensity interval training, traditional training, functional training. You name it. There's so many things that are out there that's what I'm thinking of doing as we get into our Wednesdays. We started a little bit of Friendship Friday. It's not necessarily named that every Friday, but Friendship Friday. Do you know that on Thursdays we take our show out and we do Mobile Monicas? And so coming up this Thursday, we will be featuring Herman at Yuppie Puppies Forever Rescue. I have phenomenal news to pass along to you. So I don't know if you saw this, but I shared it and I was also commenting on their page. We are always wanting to get these beautiful dogs adopted out. Well, guess what? Theo, the dog that we featured several weeks ago that was never in a home. He was born and then he was in several shelters before he went to Yuppie Puppies Forever Rescue. He is deaf, and in the beginning, and this is the beautiful side of training and really having that caring touch that they have, they took him from literally being crazy in his pen and just like, going to the bathroom all over everything and not trusting people to being potty trained, never having an issue, loving on everybody, and being able to do truly, since he can't hear, having the ability for them to do, hand movements and hand training. And I just fell in love with him. If we didn't have 3 dogs already, I was telling my husband I would have loved to have adopted him. Well, he was adopted. Oh my gosh, it just lit me up over the weekend. Theo now has his forever home. And I believe I was reading that the person who adopted him is an audiologist. How cool is that? So congratulations, Theo. It kind of reminded me of Cristiano when they were trying to get Cristiano adopted, and he was their long timer. He was finally adopted at the end of last year. And now Theo, we got to get Mama Blue adopted. Now, all of my comments are kind of disappearing from the beginning of the show. I don't think I can get them back, unfortunately, but I believe I heard quickly that Leona was putting an application in, I think, for Mama Blue. I'm going to see if Michelle can run down the hall and maybe tell Zach, my director, if that in fact is what she was trying to tell me. If that's the case, I'm super, super excited. Mama Blue is stunningly gorgeous. She was just the sweetest. Her eyes are so beautiful, that gray blue. Her ears are adorable. My earpiece is kind of going in and out, but I'm going to see if that is the case. I think I was told that Leona. Is that yes? Oh, yes. Okay, fantastic. Leona, you are going to fall in love with her, and I hope that is exactly what happens. So Mama Blue, and Mama actually has one left of her litter that's also still up for adoption. So I'd love to get both of them adopted out. We showed you Jalapeno 2 weeks ago. Now, Jalapeno, I would love to get adopted out as well. That's going to take someone very patient. Jalapeno does have wheels that get him around, but oh my gosh, did you see how fast he was? And then Herman had a handful of applications for him, but didn't get adopted. So we're going to feature Herman this week. We also, Jessica Cook, who owns Yuppie Puppy Pet Spa, she wants to know what you would like for us to cover in these Positive Talk Time segments. I actually picked up a magazine the other day that has so many incredible ideas for pet owners, not just dog, but cat owners as well. So I'd like to talk about what is on top of your mind when it comes to being a pet owner. We'll do those coming up for you in the coming weeks. If you have any in particular for this coming Thursday, let me know. So we'll be back out there live. That'll be coming off of Wednesday, our Wet Your Whistle Wednesday that we do at 4 o'clock with Chuck Gillentine and Defiance Ridge. Those hours have changed, so now they're open a little bit longer because we've got gorgeous days ahead. I think some of you had a chance to maybe go see Garden Party over the weekend. That's kind of a continuation of Bushwhacks in the Hollywoods. I know I was asking earlier what you did for St. Patty's Day, and I think a lot of you commented, but unfortunately, those comments, I don't know, they move too fast, and as I go back, they're not there anymore. So let me know what you did for St. Pat's, and even if you commented already, you can bring it to the front of my feed so I can see that. I relaxed yesterday, but I think a lot of you had a chance to go out. I looked at my feed on Facebook, and there were tons of you out at the Dogtown Parade, a lot of people out in Cottleville. As I said, Frankie Martin's Garden said that they had record-breaking crowds. Marilyn said yes, Leona did adopt. Oh, adopted? Oh, I thought she put in an application. She adopted Mama Blue? That's even bigger news. Leona lost her beloved Cora last month. I remember you saying that. She is a huge rescue dog mom. Oh my gosh. Okay, I thought you just put an application. I didn't know that you were already adopted. That's huge, huge news. Rose says, what are you doing for your birthday? I believe we're going out to dinner tomorrow night. I am today going and having a massage and a facial and just pampering myself, finally using a Christmas gift from my husband. I'm so behind, almost 4 months behind. Sometimes it's been almost an entire year from getting a gift card, and just before it expires, I finally turned it in. But my wonderful clients bought me a certificate to go to the Four Seasons I haven't used yet. Again, everybody's trying to say, Monica, slow down a little bit. My husband bought me this. It's for a place in Webster Groves. I've never been. He just happened across it. He said it looks absolutely beautiful and really believes that I'll enjoy it. So I think I'm getting a hot stone massage today and a facial. So that's what I'm doing for my birthday, a day early. Tomorrow on the show, if you haven't heard at the beginning, I mentioned that we're going to have a friend of mine for the last 3 decades, Kelly Chase, former St. Louis Blue, obviously Blues alumni. He's going to talk about this upcoming game in April. Tickets hopefully still available for it. They keep adding celebrities to the game. It is going to be the Blues alumni against other NHL alumni and celebrities, and that celebrity list includes Garth Brooks, Dierks Bentley, and then other NHL players like Chris Chelios, Pierre Turgeon is going to be playing. The list goes on and on and on. So that game is coming up. Michelle has been posting that in links for you over the last week as I talked about it. I'll have her post it again for you. If you can go to this, please do so, because it's to raise money to continue to fund research for cancer, Siteman Cancer Center, which we are so blessed to have here, and other organizations that will benefit from that. But Kelly will talk about that and other aspects of his own journey, because he was diagnosed with cancer and he's been through a lot in the last several months. So we'll be visiting with Kelly on my birthday tomorrow. We also have a special 12 o'clock show with a former celebrity, and I will reveal who that person is during tomorrow morning show. So you've got to listen tomorrow. We've got a celebrity that was on with us last year that is going to be returning and will be performing for us at a 12 o'clock show tomorrow. So I really hope you listen to that. Yes, you need to take care of yourself. Great birthday gift. Recipe for good treats for the dogs. You want that one? Okay. What is good food for the dogs? Pam, that's a great topic. We'll do that one for sure. Let's see. Oh, Leona said only an application. I thought so. I thought that's what I heard. So Marilyn said you adopted already. I thought that was pretty quick. So, okay, you put in an application and waiting to hear from them. Thank you, Leona, for, again, we never want to have our news not be correct. I will enjoy the spa day for sure. Happy early birthday. Thank you, Vicki. I appreciate it. Let me give you some information of things that are coming up for you as well. April 3rd. Now, I've seen about, I think, 8 or 9 of you that have already signed up. Gosh, he reads my mind. April 3rd. Thank you, Zach. Cultivating your vision. So we want you to continue your progress, or if your progress has been stunted, that's fine. You can start with Cultivating Your Vision 4, and you have not been behind. We have had 1, 2, and 3. We started this in December. And why did we continue? Because everybody on those nights said, we want more. You get 2 coaches in one night. Cultivating your vision. Okay, I'm stressing this is your night. So no distractions. Make sure that the kids or the dogs or the husbands or partners, boyfriends, girlfriends, whoever is not in the room for that hour and a half. It starts for you at 6 o'clock Central Time through 7:30, and the price did go up. So on March 15th, the price went to $35. It will go up again, by the way, if you wait. So you want to get on this early. Go to my website, TheRealMonicaAdams.com, and then click on events. You'll have the calendar pull up. Go to that date and just click on the word Cultivating Your Vision. So you can rewrite your story at any point. I was just asking Dr. Neary, is it ever too late to start lifting weights? No, it's never too late to start working on yourself. So, I always talk about knowing your value and creating strategy for success. It could be business success, could be personal success, financial success. You hear about vision boards. We're going to talk about what that looks like. So if you would like to purchase, by the way, 1, 2, and 3, I have recordings of those. It's only $10, and you can watch those, really get ready for April 3rd. But I'm going to stress again, if you miss those, it doesn't matter. You are absolutely, positively not behind. One of the things that Cash and I are very big on is to make sure that we reach the younger generation at a very early age. So if you have kids that are 18 and under, please bring them to that night. You have kids, you have grandkids, you've got godchildren. I don't care. You've got neighborhood kids that you want to tell to come over. 18 and under, they're absolutely free. That's very important to both myself and to Kasha. Yes, Marilyn, you jumped the gun there. So the dog has not been adopted, but I'm immediately going to send a text to Jessica and say, take a look at the application, because Leona is wanting to meet Mama Blue and hopefully get adopted out. That's very important to all of us, is that we get these dogs adopted and we raise wonderful money so they can continue to do the work that they do. We, on Mother's Day, will be in I'm going to call it now the Panteras parking lot. It's in O'Fallon, Missouri, off of Highway K, and it's Mother's Day from 10 a.m. until noon. I hope to spend Mother's Day with you. My mom will be out there with me, and it is a farmer and artisans market. I've seen some of the pictures from their past events. It looks so super cool. Music, food, a lot of vendors. I'm going to have a great time with you. So we'll be out there broadcasting live from 10 a.m. until noon. Come by before church, or maybe go to church and then come after, and then maybe take mom to brunch and just, again, gush on her all day long. I'd love to see you there, though. I know a lot of people keep saying they'd love to see us at some of our events. So we're trying to make sure that we get all over the place in all the different counties on both sides of the river. And the way we do that is by you reaching out to me and saying, hey, Monica, I hear you're now coming to businesses. I'd love to be spotlighted. Well, just email me at info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. We have had January, February, and March completely booked on Thursdays, and it is my goal to continue that pattern. So every other Thursday is taken by Yuppie Puppies Forever Rescue. That's our mobile Monicas. We also had our wonderful fashion before and after makeover show at the Vault Luxury Resale last Thursday. That was so much fun. And then we have our Wednesdays booked with Wet Your Whistle Wednesday. So we could start a brand new segment with your business or a person that you know that owns a business. My whole thing is about supporting local. So let us know if you want us to come to your business for a one-time or for a regular event. And if you, by the way, turn us on to someone that regularly does something with us or even does it one time, we're going to give you Monica merchandise. Monica bucks, up to $100 for you to spend on our merchandise. And did you see? We rolled out 2 new colors for our t-shirts, a gorgeous peppy pink and beaming blue. Those are the names that Michelle gave them. The blue, by the way, is a sapphire. Okay, if it doesn't come across that way in the picture, it is a gorgeous sapphire blue. And that's what we're doing as we roll out some new merchandise for spring. I am putting in a new order today, by the way, so you need to get to me pretty quick in the next, probably by noon. I'll be putting that order in. I've got one of our ladies that purchased an extra large and she wants to do a 2X now. So I actually love the idea of maybe going into the next size down, but she just wants to feel a little bit more confident, more comfortable. So she'll probably have both sizes. She's ordering the regular blue we have already, but we've got blue and green and purple and red in the t-shirts. The long sleeve shirts, we have blue and black. In our jackets, we have a gorgeous fuchsia for the girls, a black and a blue, and then for the guys, a black and a blue jacket. We've got journals and we've got mugs. And I've asked you if there's other merchandise you would like us to add as we go into the spring and summer months. I'd like for you to play a big role in our show. Topics, guests, merchandise, you name it. We're doing this for you, so let us know what we can do for you. Peppy Pink, Julie. That's the dog that she adopted, was Peppy. Good morning. Can we volunteer at Yuppie Puppy to spoil the puppies? 100%. Yes. It's out in Cottleville, so just give them a call, Ann. Yes, that's one of the things that a lot of the rescues need, is even to just walk the dogs, take them out, play with them, make sure that they have the type of energy that they need out of them by you walking them and doing everything you can with them. So yes, reach out to them. Lisa says, how about racerback shirts? Okay, we'll look into that. I was asked if my original workout clothes could come back by one of my clients. Sports bras, and we had some workout pants. I didn't really like the first version of the workout pants, so I'm still looking to change those. The workout bras, though, I did reach out to the woman that I worked with on those, and she said, yes, we can still get them. So they were a gorgeous Monica blue. We also had pink, we had purple, we had black. So I do have sports bras, workout bras that we can do for the women. But racerback shirts, that sounds like a great idea. Someone's having a birthday tomorrow along with my daughter. We went to Twisted Tavern in Arnold yesterday and celebrated my daughter's birthday early. They live in Kentucky. Fantastic. Twisted Tavern, by the way, is super cool. We need to get them on. The Cybergs guys, come on, book us for all of your locations. We need to do something with you. And they have a really cool new event space, by the way, affiliated with their Twisted Tree. So yeah, you guys need to book us. Let's see. We also have Bike Stop. Okay, that's before we take a break, Bike Stop Cafe. That one, I know a lot of you were concerned, making sure that Jody, who owns Bike Stop Cafe, was doing okay. She is. She has rescheduled us for next Thursday, the 28th. So come on out to Bike Stop Cafe, 7 o'clock in the morning. We're going to have a woman-to-woman talk about all the incredible things that she's done. She's a doctor, by the way. She's got her PhD. We'll talk about doing that, a woman-owned business, and just kicking back and enjoying some time together with you, with some good food. Come out, have some coffee or tea with us, even if you run by real quick and grab it on your way to work, or if you can sit and enjoy the live broadcast. Coming off the Katy Trail, they're one of the favorite spots, I'm told, for bikers and runners and walkers. So we are booked all the way through the end of March. So yeah, some fun things coming up for you for sure. All right, we're going to take our final break, and when we come back, my choice. I think I'm going to pick yellow as we go into spring. Yellow, 100 Days to Freedom. Which one is that? You'll have to find out. We'll do that when we return. Envita Health and Wellness, where you can feel your best both inside and out. Envita isn't your typical med spa. They're a multi-specialty medical spa and wellness center serving St. Louis and its surrounding areas. They have ketamine for mental health and pain, IV therapy, medical weight loss, and aesthetics treatments. As board-certified anesthesia providers, Envita can ensure that their advanced treatments are provided safely with minimal to no pain. So let Envita take care of you. Call 314-394-0950 to book an appointment or online envitahealthandwellness.com. Welcome back. Great show on tap for you tomorrow. Again, with our friend Kelly Chase. Wonderful show today with Dr. Sean Neary. He is so good and taking care of our bodies. Do not let those warning signs go. Okay, so it's 100 Days to Freedom from Shame. Life in a fallen world. When Adam sinned, sin entered the world. That's Romans 5, verse 12. Have you ever had one of those everything is different now moments? Maybe it was the first time you laid eyes on your future mate. Maybe it was the moment you first learned you were going to become a parent. Maybe it was the moment you realized that someone you trusted had betrayed you. We've all gone through multiple levels of things, right? The greatest everything is different now moment in all of history happened in the Garden of Eden when Adam and Eve chose to disobey God and eat the forbidden fruit. And our whole world has changed ever since. Before that, everything was perfect. You know, now I always say there is no such thing as perfection. But it was only until then that something was perfect. Afterward, not so much. Even though God warned them that tough times would be ahead, Adam and Eve probably had little idea just how tough life would turn out to be, not just for them, but for all of us. You can almost imagine them tilling the ground with the sting of sweat in their eyes and pain in their lower backs, thinking, boy, I wish we could have a do-over. But there were no do-overs. And so you and I are stuck living in a sinful, fallen world. What this means is that there are traps and there are snares everywhere. Just about anything you encounter can be dangerous. Even things that God created and that are good. Sex and food are classic examples. Chances are good that the reason you're dealing with shame right now is because you stepped into a trap. Maybe you didn't see it coming, or maybe you did and you made a bad choice. Either way, more trouble is in your future if you don't start thinking more seriously about the kind of world that we live in and what it takes to keep yourself right with God. Every choice we make every single day. Andy Stanley said, we can't afford to be careless. We don't live in a morally neutral environment. It's not safe out there. Interesting of how we look at life. Today's prayer, Lord, give me wisdom that I might recognize the traps and the snares that I encounter. Remind me often that this world is neither my home nor my friend. There are good people in it, folks, but there are also a lot of really horrible people that need to listen to this show and get back on a good path. There's a lot of evil out there, yes, but I also believe there's a lot of good. And I think each and every one of you that watch this show and share and like and follow every day at 7 a.m. on all the multiple platforms, you're wanting more for our world. Not just for you, but for our entire world. It's 8:02, and I want to thank you for being a part of today's show. And remember, if you only had a chance to watch a few minutes of it, come back to it and then share it so that your followers, we can have those branches of the tree continue to grow and grow all around the world. Tune in tomorrow, a fun show on tap, a pretty emotional show, I bet you, from laughter to tears of everything that Kelly Chase has been through and has been going through. We'll talk with him and we'll get you out to that game in the beginning of April to help raise money for those that are suffering with cancer. And then don't forget, 12 o'clock, you do not want to miss our special edition show with one amazing celebrity performer. And I will reveal to you who that person is during tomorrow morning's show. Go out, enjoy the day today, bundle up. It is going to be a chilly one with highs only in the upper 40s, but a gorgeous day. See, there's always a really wonderful thing right around the corner. Almost 70 degrees for tomorrow's day. Enjoy your day, but remember to be kind. God bless you.